Right now, the person you're connected to is drowning in a situation that feels suffocating and completely inescapable. They find themselves tangled in a toxic karmic web, a dense network of negativity and unresolved spiritual lessons that continues to drag them deeper into darkness with each passing day. This is not just a difficult phase they're going through. It's a profound spiritual crisis where their soul feels weighed down by invisible burdens, where every decision they attempt to make seems to lead them in endless circles rather than propelling them forward toward growth and freedom. Deep within the most honest chambers of their heart, they are acutely aware that they are not living their truth. They know they have strayed far from their authentic path, far from the life their soul was meant to live. The sensation of being trapped overwhelms them constantly, as though invisible chains have been wrapped around their spirit, binding them to a place they no longer wish to be. These chains are forged from fear, guilt, pride, and unhealed wounds from their past. The stagnant energy that surrounds them is slowly but surely wearing them down on every level of their existence. Mentally, they feel exhausted from the constant internal battle between what they know is right and what they feel powerless to change. Emotionally, they are drained from carrying the weight of their choices and the consequences that followed. Spiritually, they feel disconnected from their higher self, from the divine guidance that once whispered to them in moments of clarity. The heaviness of their past mistakes presses down upon their chest every single day, making it difficult to breathe freely or move forward with any real sense of purpose. Among all the burdens they carry, one stands out as particularly crushing: the shame they feel when they think of you. This shame is so profound, so deeply embedded in their consciousness, that it paralyzes them. They are far too embarrassed, far too overwhelmed by their own guilt, to step forward and offer you the apology you deserve. The apology for abandoning you, for walking away when you needed them most, for choosing fear over love. Every single time the thought crosses their mind to reach out to you, to break the silence that has grown between you, their pride and their guilt collide with such force that they become completely frozen. They stand at the edge of vulnerability, wanting desperately to jump, but finding themselves unable to move. In their private moments, they replay the memories over and over again like a film they cannot stop watching. They remember the times you showed them kindness when they gave you coldness in return. They recall the understanding you offered even when they were being difficult and closed off. They think about the patience you demonstrated, waiting for them to open up, to meet you halfway, to recognize the gift of connection you were offering. The more they remember, the harder it becomes for them to face you. Because now they see clearly what they could not see before. They know with absolute certainty that you were nothing but loving toward them. You were loyal when loyalty was difficult. You were supportive even when they gave you little reason to be. You offered them a kind of devotion and unconditional acceptance that most people search for their entire lives and never find. This was not ordinary affection. This was the kind of love that sees past the surface, past the flaws and the walls and the defense mechanisms, straight into the soul of who someone really is. Yet despite receiving this precious gift, they did not cherish it the way they should have. Instead of holding you close and honoring what you offered, they treated you with coldness. They gave you indifference when you deserved warmth. In some moments, their behavior may have even crossed into cruelty, whether through their words, their actions, or their absence. They are painfully aware now that you did not deserve any of that treatment. Not a single moment of it was justified. The memory of how they behaved toward you sits in the center of their chest like a heavy stone they cannot put down, no matter how much they wish they could release it. What makes this burden even more excruciating for them is the growing realization of who you truly are. You are a powerful healer. At the time when you were together, they may not have fully understood this truth. They may not have recognized the profound gift of your presence. But you carried an energy that was capable of soothing wounds they didn't even know existed within them. Some of these wounds were so deep, so old, that they had become part of their identity. Yet your presence had the power to reach those hidden places. Your energy was calming yet transformative at the same time. It was gentle enough to make them feel safe and comfortable, yet strong enough to awaken deep truths within them that had been sleeping for years. Before they met you, they had never truly understood what real love felt like. They may have believed they did. They may have had relationships before and convinced themselves that what they experienced was love. But in truth, it was surface level. It was conditional, based on what each person could get from the other. Or it was rooted in pain and dysfunction, in patterns learned from childhood that masqueraded as connection. With you, everything was different. With you, they felt something infinitely pure, something more genuine and more real than anything they had experienced before. And that terrified them. Instead of leaning into the light you offered, instead of allowing themselves to bask in that warmth and let it heal them, they ran from it. Perhaps they ran because they felt unworthy of such love. Perhaps they feared the vulnerability that real intimacy demands. Perhaps they were afraid that if they opened themselves completely to you, you would eventually see something in them that would make you leave. So they left first, protecting themselves in the only way they knew how. Now they are drowning in regret. It fills them like water filling a sinking ship. They regret the words they never spoke, the ones that could have changed everything if they had only found the courage to say them. They regret the actions they failed to take, the moments when they could have shown up for you but chose to hide instead. They regret the countless times they allowed fear to dictate their choices rather than following the wisdom of their heart. In their quietest moments, usually late at night when sleep refuses to come, they wish desperately that they could rewrite the past. They long for an alternate reality where they treated this sacred connection with the seriousness and respect it deserved from the very beginning. They now perceive this separation between you not merely as a break between two people, but as something far more significant. It feels like divine punishment. It feels as though the universe itself has intervened, holding up a mirror to force them to see the direct consequences of their own actions and choices. They have lost someone truly irreplaceable, and that truth burns in their soul like a fire that never goes out. No matter what they do or where they go or who they meet, that emptiness remains, reminding them constantly of what they gave up. What surprises them most, what catches them completely off guard, is your strength. In their absence, they had expected you to crumble and fall apart. They thought you would be lost without their presence in your life, that you would reach out desperately trying to bring them back. But instead, you have risen higher than ever before. Your independence shines brightly. Your resilience is undeniable. Your self-assured energy radiates even more powerfully now than it did when you were together. You embody the High Priestess energy perfectly. You are wise, deeply intuitive, and profoundly self-empowered. You move through your life with grace and dignity, completely unshaken by the choices they made, and this both humbles them and inspires them in ways they cannot fully express. They can see clearly now that you are not someone who needs them in order to feel whole and complete. You are already complete entirely on your own. This revelation stirs something profound within them. It's a complex mixture of admiration, longing, and a deep sense of loss. They think about you often, far more often than they would ever be willing to admit to anyone, perhaps even to themselves. Your presence has become unforgettable to them. It is etched into their soul in a way they simply cannot shake off, no matter how hard they might try. Certain songs come on the radio and suddenly they are transported back to moments with you. Specific places they pass by trigger memories of conversations you shared or experiences you had together. Random scents carried on the wind remind them of you. Even moments of complete silence can bring you rushing back to their mind with overwhelming force. And yet, from your perspective, from where you stand in your own life, it might seem like they don't care about you at all. You might believe they have moved on completely, that they have forgotten you entirely, that you were just another chapter in their life that they have closed and left behind. But the truth is so different from what it appears to be. The truth is they are still there in the background of your life, watching quietly. They are lurking in the shadows, keeping track of your journey in subtle ways that you may not even notice. They are gathering bits and pieces of your story, learning about your growth and your victories, without revealing their presence. What you may not fully realize is that they are also planning. This is not plotting in a malicious or harmful way. Rather, it is planning born from a deep desire to find their way back to you somehow. They think constantly about how to break the silence that has grown between you. They imagine different scenarios for how they could re-enter your world without being rejected immediately and completely. They rehearse conversations in their mind where they finally explain everything, where they pour out their heart and tell you exactly what you meant to them then and what you still mean to them now. They fantasize about the moment when they can finally be completely honest and vulnerable with you. But even as they plan and hope and imagine, fear continues to hold them back with an iron grip. They fear your reaction to their sudden reappearance in your life. They fear having to face directly the hurt they caused you, to see it reflected in your eyes or hear it in your voice. They fear that too much time has passed, that the window of opportunity has closed forever, that whatever chance they might have had is now gone. They fear rejection more than almost anything else, because rejection from you would confirm what they secretly believe about themselves, that they truly are unworthy of the love you offered. Still, in the deepest part of their heart, beyond all the fear and doubt, they know with absolute certainty that this connection is different from anything else they have experienced. No matter what karmic cycles they find themselves trapped in at this present moment, no matter what toxic situations they cannot seem to escape, they cannot erase the profound impact you have had on their life and on their soul. They cannot forget the way you truly saw them, the real them beneath all the masks and defenses, even when they could not see themselves clearly. That kind of love, that kind of pure seeing and acceptance, does not just vanish into nothing. It leaves a permanent imprint, one that lingers and influences every choice they make, every day they live through, every lonely night they spend wondering what might have been. And so they remain suspended, caught between two worlds that pull them in opposite directions. On one side is the toxic situation they feel bound to, the karmic lesson they have not yet learned, the pattern they have not yet broken. On the other side is the deep magnetic pull they feel toward you, the knowing that their soul recognizes even when their human mind creates doubt and fear. Their soul knows exactly where it belongs, but their human fears and insecurities keep them hesitating, frozen at the crossroads, unable to move decisively in either direction. In the meantime, while they remain stuck in this painful limbo, they continue to watch your light from a distance. They are amazed and somewhat awestruck by how brightly you shine without them in your life. They watch you grow and evolve and become more yourself with each passing day, and they wonder constantly if they will ever gather the courage to step back into that light. They wonder if there will come a day when they are finally brave enough to face you, to speak their truth, to offer their heart without the walls and without the fear. I want you to know something with absolute clarity. I want to be completely open with you in every way that truly matters. I want to share my thoughts with you, even the ones that feel scary or vulnerable. I want to tell you about my fears, the things that keep me awake at night, the doubts that creep into my mind. I want to speak honestly about my struggles, the battles I fight that others cannot see, the weight I carry that I rarely speak about. And I want to share my joys with you as well, the moments of light and laughter and unexpected beauty that make life feel worth living. I want to do all of this without holding anything back, because I trust you with the most fragile and tender parts of who I am. When something weighs heavily on my mind, occupying my thoughts and stealing my peace, I want to tell you about it. When my day feels unbearably heavy, when the world seems too harsh and I feel too tired to keep fighting, I want to lean on you. Not because I expect you to fix everything or solve all my problems or carry my burdens for me, but simply because I know you will listen with your full attention. I know you will understand, or at least try to understand, even when my words come out messy and incomplete. I know you will simply be there, and sometimes that presence alone is enough to make everything feel more bearable. And just as much as I want this from our connection, I want to be that person for you in return. I want to be the one you turn to when life feels overwhelming and you need someone who will not judge you or try to minimize what you are feeling. I want to be the one who stands beside you in moments of uncertainty when you cannot see the path forward clearly. I want to be the one who celebrates with you authentically in times of joy and victory, who feels genuinely happy about your happiness. I want to be the presence you can count on absolutely, no matter the physical distance between us, no matter what time of day or night you need me, no matter what circumstances we find ourselves in. I want to protect you, but not in a way that diminishes or takes away your strength, because I see clearly that you are strong beyond measure. Rather, I want to protect you in a way that makes you feel safe, cherished, and deeply valued for exactly who you are. I want to give you the time and focused attention you truly deserve, to slow down my racing mind and my busy life and truly see you in every moment we share together. My goal is not simply to tell you with words that I love you, though I will say it often. My goal is to show it through my actions in ways that are so consistent and so genuine that they leave absolutely no room for doubt in your mind or heart. Whether it is through the simplest gesture, like remembering something small that matters to you, or through the grandest effort, like moving heaven and earth to be there when you need me, I want you to feel deeply appreciated every single day. I want to make you happy, not just with fleeting moments of joy that fade quickly, but with a steady and unwavering love that becomes woven into the fabric of your daily life. To me, you are my light in the dark, the glow that guides me when the world feels uncertain and I cannot see where I am going. You are my hope when circumstances seem hopeless and I feel like giving up. You are the reason I keep going when I might otherwise give in to despair and exhaustion. You are my faith when I feel insecure and doubt myself. You remind me constantly that love, true and genuine love, can stand completely unshaken even when life tests us with difficulties and challenges. And no matter what obstacles we face on this journey, I believe with everything in me that distance can never truly separate two hearts that genuinely care for one another. The physical miles between us might be real and measurable, but they cannot touch the bond we have built together. That bond lives in every word we exchange, every thought we share, every heartbeat that quickens when we think of each other. When I met you, something inside me shifted in a way I still cannot fully explain or put into words. You broke me open, but not in a way that caused pain or damage. Rather, you broke me open in a way that allowed light to flood in where there had once been only walls and shadows and carefully constructed defenses. I began to feel things I had not felt in a very long time. Perhaps these were things I had never truly felt at all before you. You awakened emotions within me that were pure and unfiltered, sweet and almost heavenly feelings that reminded me what it means to be fully alive, to care deeply, and to dream again about possibilities I had stopped believing in. Before you entered my life, there were pieces of me that were quiet and dormant, hidden away where no one could reach them or asleep from years of neglect. With you, those parts have woken up and come back to life. I love you because with you, I can be my truest and most authentic self without fear. I can speak without rehearsing every word in my head first, worried about how it will be received. I can laugh without holding back or controlling myself. I can show my weaknesses without shame, knowing you will not use them against me or think less of me for having them. You see the version of me that few others ever get to see, the one who does not have to hide behind strength or pretend to have everything figured out or maintain a facade of perfection. With you, I am free in a way I have never been free before. I am open with my feelings, unafraid of judgment, knowing deep in my bones that you accept me fully even in my most unpolished and imperfect moments. That kind of freedom is incredibly rare, and I do not take it for granted for even a single day. After truly seeing you, after looking past the surface and recognizing the beauty of your soul, my heart knew immediately what it wanted. This was not a slow realization that built gradually over time. It was a deep and certain recognition that struck me all at once. My soul knew without any doubt that this was real, that you were real, that what we had together was something extraordinary. There is something undeniable about the way you fit into my life, as though you were always meant to be here, as though the universe had been guiding both of us toward this meeting all along. You are not just someone I love. You are someone I believe in completely. You are my home even when I am far from you physically. I imagine our days together often, both the extraordinary moments and the beautifully ordinary ones.